So for like a month, I've been racking my brain around how I'm going to make this video because initially when the news of this StarFox game coming out and all the backlash with the designs, which we will get into, I've been thinking about how I was going to do it, and I was really like, well, what am I going to say that hasn't been said already? And also, every time I filmed it, I went to a big rant about, I don't know, a lot of stuff. And a lot of it also seemed like very reminiscent of when I was being accused of being a shill for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And I don't want to seem like that with this game, but I do want to talk about the positives with this game. And I will say this, I do have a lot of things that I don't like, and we will get into that. But I mainly want to use this to be kind of a personal video in a way, where I tell you guys why this franchise means so much to me and why I'm irritated with Nintendo and how they've been handling the series for, I hate to say it, almost the last 20 years. That ages me, doesn't it? So let me start with getting into my history with StarFox and why I am so attached to it. And it's one of the reasons because it was a big part of my childhood and a big part of gaming with my brother. My brother and I don't talk about video games much. He has his own hobbies and interests. I have my own. But one franchise that really connected us growing up, I feel, during like the GameCube era, was StarFox. We both loved StarFox. We had the original on the SNES, and then we had Adventures and Assault. We didn't have an N64, so we never played Star Fox 64 when we were younger. I've played it since. I never beat it. I got stuck on a part in Venom, but I know how it ends and all that. I know that it's a remake of the original, so I would watch my brother beat Adventures. He'd watch me beat Adventures, and same with Assault. And then once we beat Assault, we played the multiplayer. We played it for hours because we did the versus mode and in Corneria City, I remember specifically. And then we'd find like these buildings, like, oh, this is my house, and like, oh, this is my house, and it was a great time. So it saddened me when Command came out and it was garbage. They were doing such a good job at continuing the story that they made, and then they just shat all over it. Granted, I didn't really play much of Command. I did watch some of the gameplay my brother played, but I don't think either of us really vibed with it. And the fact that there was like 500 endings to that really kind of screwed over the Star Fox series, because it's like, okay, well, where are they going to go now? I mean, I'm going to say, oh, people are mad they're doing Lilat Wars again. It's because Star Fox 2026 is a remake of the original Star Fox. People will say it's a remake of Star Fox 64. Guess what? That was a remake of the original Star Fox. So I'll just be referring to it as Lilat Wars because whatever. That's what the arc is called, I guess. So the thing I think that killed the franchise and keeps killing the franchise over and over again, and I say killed, but I mean like made it so they had to reboot it, or maybe because it's the reason that they don't make them as much as they used to, is because they like to be risky with like almost every new title of Star Fox. If you've noticed, Star Fox Adventures comes out, it's just Fox on land, and then like you get some space missions going in between chunks of the planet and whatnot. Which I understand Adventures was going to be a totally different game before, but they just thought it wouldn't sell as well without the Star Fox title. But you know, it's different. It has the Star Fox title, but it's a different game. And then you get Assault, which blends both what was in 64 and what was in Adventure, with the land combat as well as the space combat and Landmaster and all that stuff. And, you know, I thought Assault took it in good. I thought it was going in a great direction. Then you add this, like, whole tactical stuff. You get rid of a lot of stuff, and you decide to make it a DS title, and you add, like, 15 endings. It's like, what are you doing at this point? And then it's like they ran out of ideas, or that was supposed to be the end of the series or something. So they're like, okay, let's remake Lilat Wars. And so they came out with Star Fox Zero and made it super gimmicky and really not fun to play. I do think the closest they got to going somewhere was actually in a game that's not part of the StarFox franchise, and that is Starlink Battle for Atlas. The Switch version had an exclusive like side campaign with StarFox characters, and I thought it was a really cool idea and almost implemented awesomely, but I don't know, I got bored of that game and I didn't want to have to pay to beat it. It was a Toys to Life game, for those who don't know. That's the closest we got to any new story from StarFox since like 2009 or whenever Command came out. So I get the irritation with revisiting Lilat Wars once again with this new StarFox game, but I also expected it because Zero did so poorly that I either expected them to make a Switch 2 edition or like a Switch port or whatever of StarFox Zero somehow and like make it so that's more fun to play. But they didn't do that, so I guess they went straight for the remake route. And now we got this new art style where they're more animalistic than usual. Which, here's my thing. I'll talk about the designs really quick, which ones I like, which I don't. I don't mind Slippy or Peppy at all. I think they're fine. Same with General Pepper, I don't mind him. And I think Starwolf, for the most part, fine. And also Bill, he's fine too. It's Cat. Cat's awful. Cat looks like, you look at one of those PSAs, it's like, this is you before drugs, this is you after drugs. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking with Cat. Like, what the hell? And then with Fox, what did you do to his feet? In the Super Mario Galaxy movie, you were literally talking about how he has really cool shiny boots. And now he really doesn't have boots. Or if he has boots, they're really small and not as cool as they used to be. And then he got Falco's legs, man. I mean, the thing is, I looked at Falco, and I think I'm crazy, but Falco looks the same except for his legs to me. To me, he personally looks the same. So I don't see what the big deal people are making of Falco. At least waist up. Waist down, I understand. It is awful waist down. But besides that, it's fine. But like I said, this is the thing that pisses me off, is they take so much risks. It's annoying. It was with the weird tactical thing with Command. It was the gimmicky gamepad controls with Zero. And now it's this real, hyper-realistic art style with 2026, I guess. The reason these games don't do well is because of the risks that Nintendo takes. Like, yeah, take a risk once in a while. But I mean, geez, it's not that hard to make. It's not that hard, really. Just take what works and then make a new story and boom, new game. There you go. Look at Tears of the Kingdom. They took what worked and they did add some different mechanics to switch things up, and it worked for at least some people. Some people didn't really vibe with the story, but still, like, it was still a highly appraised game. It's just annoying to see them take yet another big risk on StarFox when it's what I call an endangered franchise. And what I mean by endangered franchise, if you want a definition of it, it means that like a series is, you can still tell that the company behind it kind of cares about it, but at the same time it's like on the border of being a dead series. Like, an example of a dead series, I would say, is Banjo-Kazooie, which hurts to say. Another example, Earthbound, Mother. But that, to be fair, I think they told all the story they wanted to tell, so. I know Metroid was an endangered series, but then Samus Returns happened and that got well received and stuff, and yeah, so with endangered franchises that I care about, because I did care about Metroid too. Metroid Prime was a big part of my childhood as well. I'm just annoyed that Nintendo keeps making these risks with these franchises. I feel like if they want to make these kind of risks, they should do that to Mario. They should do that to Zelda. They do it to Pokemon, and they keep making games because those just keep making money. And that's the thing, is that I feel like this is the last chance Star Fox has. That's what the most annoying part of this whole thing is because I feel like if this game does not sell well, they're not going to assume this. This is what some people might assume. oh, if we don't buy this game, then they'll learn we don't care about Lilat Wars anymore, and they won't remake Lilat Wars. No, they'll look at this and say, oh, people don't care about StarFox anymore, so let's just bin the series. Let's just trash it. Let's just throw it away. Let's not touch it again, because it costs money to make these games, and people ain't buying. And I think that's the biggest tragedy of this whole thing, because I think this game, personally, if you look past the designs, and you look past the fact that it's Lilat Wars again, there are some things in this that do interest me. For example, this is a proper remake. This is not like a remaster or a reskin or something. No, they're going in, they're adding extra story elements with cutscenes and stuff, and I think that's really cool. Yeah, I'm sure some of the layout for the levels are going to be very similar, if not copy-paste. But I feel like love did genuinely go into this. I think they really meant for these designs to really attach to people, but they just quite didn't. I think also the fact that they added a battle mode is very telling too, that they are like, okay, well, let's add something else, you know? Let's add something fun. People liked the versus mode in Assault, why don't we just bring something like that back in StarFox 2026? And then there's the challenge mode, which even adds on to more replayability. And I think another thing is it's a cheaper Switch 2 game, which I feel like is not the most great thing in the world, considering a cheap Switch 2 game is like 50, 60 bucks opposed to 60, 70. But they did price it at the cheaper one, I think, because they do realize, like, you know, maybe people won't really vibe with playing Lilat Wars again if it was a $70 game. So at least it's like 50 bucks. What I'm trying to say is I'm giving this game a chance because of a few reasons. One, I'm just itching for a new StarFox thing. Like, I think that I never beat 64. I plan to try again a couple more times before the game comes out. But I never personally beat 64, so this would be a chance to do that. But also, the redesigns have grown on me a little bit. Like I said, except for Fox's feet and Falco's legs and Cat, it looks fine. I don't mind it, really. I'm actually happy that Nintendo finally discovered graphics. I don't know, we'll see how the game does, because I feel like the reception is really mixed. I think it genuinely looks like a fun game, but man, those redesigns really just... I don't know. I think I feel like how Donkey Kong fans felt when he got his redesign, and now I think I kind of know that feeling, because when I saw Donkey Kong's redesign, I loved it. I loved it. I was like, that looks great. That looks better. But like a lot of people were like, ew, no. No. And I didn't understand. But now I think I kind of get it a little more. Except I feel like these changes are a bit more drastic. But I don't know. Those are my thoughts on everything, I guess. I'm not telling you to buy the game. I'm not telling you not to buy the game. What you do with your money, especially in this economy, it's up to you. I'm personally getting it, and I will let you guys know how it is. I feel like this is one of those games where I need to do like a review of it because when after it comes out, and then tell you guys my thoughts on it and if I think it's worth getting or not. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments. Even though I don't typically do a lot of game reviews, I feel like I care enough about StarFox, make an exception. Because I want this game to succeed, because I want more StarFox, and I want more story continuation. If I'm being real, my only real issue that I've had with the game so far is the voice acting's kind of hit or miss. I don't love Peppy's new voice, or Slippy's. Falco's is fine, and Fox's is fine, and General Pepper's and all that. But I don't know, something about Peppy and Slippy. I think it's just because we're so used to the older voices. It's kind of like with Charles Martinet leaving. It was kind of like that kind of switch up, but I don't know. Maybe it'll grow on me too. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Sorry for not posting for a while. I Was gonna make a video on the Galaxy movie, but it just turned ranty every time. And then same thing with this. So I promise you guys I'll have more stuff coming more frequently. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell when you do. And yeah, so long and good night.